What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Minnie Jordan? All my boxing fans here who've been here since day one. This is when we decided to come in and tell you guys what was going on and what's been happening behind the scenes. Wow. I didn't hit on the draw. Errol was more done and more worn for wear than we thought. And the fact that he couldn't even make the weight was a concern. That not only could he not make the weight, it's not there anymore. The punch resistance, reflexes, is shot. That was the more telling part from the very first round. When he threw one punch, he didn't really take a beating. Now, he was in the fight for about the first 6-7 rounds. From like the 7th round on, it was over. His physical pressure he was putting wasn't doing anything for him. He was done. The fight was taken from him early by counter shots. You know Tszyu. If you know Tszyu, everything I told you earlier today in the breakdown was exactly what Tszyu do. Tszyu was going to throw the right hand. He's going to loop the right hand. He's going to throw it short. He's going to throw lead rights. He figured that out. Like, okay, I could just throw lead right hands. His head is right on line. It's going to land at will. He didn't slip one lead right all night. If Tim throw the lead right, pow, he going to hit Errol right in the head every time. Pow! Pow! Only thing stopped him is him not throwing it. He was just like, maybe he throwing something back. Maybe it's just too easy. He thought it was a trap. It wasn't a trap. Errol couldn't move. His reaction time is slow. He's done. So it was like, dude, your reflexes are shot. You've been out of the ring 3 years. You should have took a tune-up if you were going to do anything. Get yourself back, adjusted to fighting, because you haven't been living like a fighter for 3 years. You done got all fat and all that stuff. When you start getting all fat and getting outside, you're not living like a fighter no more. You're living retired and comfortable. And it showed. He tried to just, okay, I'm going to go work out and jump back in the saddle. It don't work like that, bro. Like he said, man, hey, I'm going to go home, do the family thing. And I got my money working for me now. And hopefully, he did something smart with his money. They don't rip him off. And he got enough to retire on, man. He did enough. It's done. He always been a good dude. They got Yellow Breezy out of his life, so he ain't got to deal with that nonsense. And he can go ahead and retire, man, and enjoy the rest of your life spinning. His foot spacing has always been bad, but the balance isn't there. So their equilibrium is off. When your balance is off, that's your cerebrum cortex. So when he take a shot or whatever, but before he even got hit, his cerebrum cortex is off. Because every time he throws a punch, his foot comes up, his balance is off. So that's a cerebral problem. Then you taking punches. So your reflexes are slowed. Your reflexes are slowed because you've been drinking a lot. Well, all the effects of your drinking from the past, let's say you stopped drinking now. You was back drinking for these past 2-3 years. You've been getting drunk again. Just ain't been drinking and driving, but you still been drinking. You ain't been fighting, so you've been sitting there getting fat, eating food, ballooning up to like 200 pounds. But I didn't see him out. He was over 200. So it was like, okay, you do another weight loss camp and get back to work because you're going to get back into fighting. So you're doing these weight loss camps, but you ain't been living like a fighter. See, all these guys they see Floyd Mayweather and they see his greatness, but they don't see how he remained great. Why his reflexes were so sharp. Floyd did not drink. I don't drink hard liquor. That's why my reflexes is so sharp. When you're drunk, you dull your senses. That's why people have balance problems and things like that because they drunk. You're inebriated. When you don't drink, Floyd does not drink. Don't do drugs. So Floyd does not smoke weed either. So the thing about him is that when these people are all lined up, they're all together, they're all doing their thing, and they all start pressing forward to say, this is where we want to go, and they trying to push the envelope, all they get is this, despair. Now, I'm smart enough to see this. I did the whole fight live on my Patreon. We went over to every round. It's going through the fight. Now, yeah, my VIPs, the watch party with y'all was great. Paint on my head, numb my senses. What's painted on my head, dog? I just got my hair cut. I don't know. I can't even get a haircut no more. God damn. So anyway, no, he got in another car accident shortly after that and lost his insurance. They just didn't publicize it. But he got in another fender bender. It just wasn't like the one he got, but it was like he hit another car. And then his insurance company dropped him. So I think he had like State Farm or something. They got rid of him. 2 accidents, you out. So getting drunk, driving reckless, being stupid, all of these things come in line. The fact that he's still alive, still got control of his faculties, and he could leave level-headed, perfect thing for him. That's the way you go. Just step away. Because this is a guy Errol should have beat easy. A one-arm fighter, and you walking straight into right hands, that don't make any sense. And now the fact is you fighting at middleweight. So these guys hit a lot harder at middleweight, and they're heavier, and his punches are sharp. So all he knew is that Errol's going to try to bully me. I'm going to bully him. And he stepped to Errol. All fight long, he just kept bringing the fight to Errol, making Errol fight off the back foot. Errol likes to lead and come forward and do that garbage pail work. Like I told you, he want to dig, garbage pail. But after he got clipped in that first round, and his balance was off and he got clipped, ding. I'm like, look, Errol, if you're going to try to take somebody away and use angles, you don't have to use them like that. Yeah, Errol lost. He clearly lost the fight. And the reason he lost is because he's done. It was like me on the basketball court. I'm like, I can't compete. I can't be me. So if I can't be me, it's over. Like right now in a fight, another guy might have a chance. Right shoulder messed up, left knee messed up. I'm out the game. I need surgery on both. I need surgery on my shoulder, and I need surgery on my left knee. I already know. Now, if that happened, y'all in trouble. If I get that fixed, I'm back in the game. It wasn't even on DraftKings. Dog. See, this is what Uncle Charles, when you say he never recovered from that car wreck, and nobody want to admit that. Nobody was saying that before he got his ass whooped by Crawford. And we knew that was going to happen. His man fought Danny Garcia. Y'all didn't say, man, he ain't the same since then. He beat up on Danny Garcia, his first fight back after the accident. Then he fought Ugas. Right? He broke his eye socket. Broke his orbital bone. And y'all was, yeah, man, you next, Crawford. He had 2 fights. Nobody was mentioned in the car accident. Nobody. The moment Terrence Crawford beat his ass, man, he ain't been the same since that accident, bro. I said, come on, man. Just like, didn't I say they were gonna do that? Didn't I say that? Soon as he get his ass whooped by Crawford, which was what was gonna happen, when he won 2 fights in a row after the accident, nobody said shit. None of y'all Errol Spence fans said a goddamn word. Yeah, your boy Crawford better be ready. My boy better fortune on him. And he sat right here in his house as we watched it live while y'all was here. Of course, he had to pay us all out. Approximately 3 years ago. That was the last time the Skiller Man was up in here, too. He can't get it. He said, I know. He was pissed. Yeah, now he acknowledges it's over. He's like, yeah, but I went for Crawford in that fight. And I miss my Uncle Charles Brew. Yeah, but the thing is, Errol Spence fans say that, but if this was going to happen to Errol anyway, Terrence Crawford was going to do exactly what he did to Errol even before the accident. That wasn't no accident. That was skill. That was boxing and skill. It happened exactly the way I said it was going to happen. Errol wasn't going to have a chance. And the reason why is because you guys have been fooled by Errol Spence Jr. And you've been fooled by PBC. They protected Errol. See, I remember Errol from the amateurs. I remember him when he fought for the Olympic team and got the bronze. Do you know why he got the bronze? Because he lost, clearly lost in the Olympics. And you know how he lost? Because he couldn't deal with someone who was clearly boxing him. And it was his size. You see, Errol is a guy, he has to be bigger than him. Errol started his career off at 154 pounds, not welterweight. Started off at 154 pounds. And those guys are big boys at 154. And that garbage pail style of boxing, come forward, break somebody down style that he had, getting his bell rung from tune-up fights. These dudes was heavy punches. Boom, boom, boom. And Errol was like, whoa, on Dream Street. So they said, oh, no, we got it. He won the fight, but they said, we can't keep him at 54. We're going to have to drop him down. He got to make 47. And what did they do with Errol Spence? They kept putting him in fights with small guys. He's at welterweight. Who did he fight at welterweight? He fought Danny Garcia, who's a 140-pound fighter. Mikey Garcia, who's a 135-pound fighter. 135 pounds. Mikey Garcia. He fought Chris Algieri, another 140-pound fighter. He fought a whole string of 140-pound fighters. The only guy he fought was his size, Sean Porter. And you saw how that fight went. They kept putting Errol in the ring with small fighters, 140-pound guys, so he can walk through them. That was it. He got to walk through them. They did the same thing with Sean Porter. The same strategy they did with Porter is the same strategy they did with Errol. Keep him in the ring with small guys. Adrian Barnold was a 135-pound guy that they moved up to 147 to fight Sean Porter, who's a middleweight. Then you got Paulie Malignaggi. He just mauled Paulie Malignaggi. Who they have? Berto. All these small guys who are 140, Sean Porter was going through those guys. Because all he going to do is football tackle everybody. It's a con game. It's a con game. No, he didn't fake an eye injury, dog. He did have a detached retina. He did need the surgery because Pacquiao would have knocked him out. Pacquiao would have knocked Errol out. He would have probably, they thought Errol would grind Pacquiao down because Pacquiao's another small guy, but Pacquiao would have rocked him. And it would have been a whole different world for Errol because the sparring partners was whooping on Errol. And they was like, Errol, these sparring partners are whipping your ass. You're not seeing these punches? So they doctor checked his eyes and said, no, you got a detached retina. And he knew he had a detached retina and was fighting with a detached retina. And they was like, dude, you could lose your vision, dog. You need to have this surgery. So he went and had the surgery. He had to pull out the fight. And then Ugas won and beat Pacquiao. And he was like, Errol was pissed because he knew he would have beat Pacquiao, would have grinded him down. But without that retina, without being able to see the punches, that left would have landed on Errol, and he would have been in a whole new world. Because Pacquiao would throw his force into the shots. He knows how to get the leverage and put his force behind the punches. And that's why them big calf muscles are the way they are. See, and Floyd is too smart to allow that to happen. Floyd knows how to get to a certain point and get out of the way. So Floyd Mayweather would get into a position, and he knows Manny likes to lunge forward. Manny sets traps. He backs up to let you come in, and he uses your force coming in with him stopping on a dime. Boom! Coming in with a shot. So your force meeting the punch coming. So it's like you're walking into a wall each time because he just thrusts all his weight from his legs. When he hit Keith Thurman, had he been the young Manny, Keith Thurman would be eating soup still right now. So Floyd was smart enough not to chase Manny Pacquiao. He said, nah, you ain't finna get me with that. So, as you can see, it's a formula that they were keeping. It's like Deontay Wilder. They put Wilder in fights that he could win. They know Wilder is a one-hand puncher, but they kept him away from guys who really box. A guy like Tyson Fury, bad matchup. Fury can get caught because Wilder got that one-hitter quitter, but he will box you to death. and he got the size. So he could wear Wilder down. Now, Wilder losing is all confidence. It's because the confidence isn't there. They took that. And now that they took that away with the jab, heavy punches, jab, 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 heavy shot, jab, 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 heavy punch, jab, jab, jab. Took that away from him. What Tszyu did in the fight was very simple. Once he figured out Errol's game plan, which I knew from just knowing Errol Spence how this was going to go, I said, I was calling it all through the live stream that we did. I was like, all you got to do is throw the right hand lead. Keep throwing the right hand lead. You're not going to miss. And he wasn't. Just keep throwing the right hand lead. As soon as it's in line, throw the right hand lead. Boom! Close the door right there. There it is. Don't even throw the jab to set it up. Tszyu doesn't jab. I told y'all that in the beginning. I'm like, he does not jab. He sits there and waits for the perfect shot with the right hand counter. Boom! And he shoots the right hand. Everything is right hand. His father was kind of like that. Tszyu didn't throw a lot of jabs either, but his dad was a knockout guy. He's not his father, but it's the same type of formula. They wait. They're patient. They wait for the door to open. Boom! And they try to close it. And they widen it. Boom! Those shots. But his dad was a knockout machine. This guy here didn't understand what the situation was. So he's waiting for the openings to come. And as he sees the opening, turn on a shot. Boom! It's like turning on the light switch. Like hitting the switch, cutting it on. He was out. Errol was caught off the first lead right towards the end of the round. He rushed him again. Boom! Errol can't get off line. Being on line is this, right? You're keeping your head on a line. You're boxing. Your head is on a straight line. So when you throw your punch, you should be moving your head as you punch. Moving your head offline. So that if they try to counter you, your head is not on line. Errol's punching with his head still in the same place. So when you're doing that, that's keeping your head on line for a counter shot. That's what was happening all night. Errol would throw a punch and getting hit, boom, flush. With punches he see coming. It's like you see these punches coming. You know he's going to throw the right hand. Stay on his left side. Attack him on his left. He's not using his left at all. There's no jab. He'll only use the left, boom, boom, to throw the right. He's just a little quick left hook, then he's throwing the right. He's not shooting jabs. He wasn't even shooting body shots for the first 3 rounds. First 3 rounds, you didn't see any body shots. Then the 4th round, he was boom, boom, body, 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 because of the way Errol was positioning himself. So absolutely. So when your hands is up like this, if you're going to come in, Errol, and shoot the shots to the body, your hand got to be up. Like they say, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Yo, hold the phone on that shit. So Errol's feet is he don't give himself enough chance to move because he takes such a wide stance. So because he always had a wide stance, you don't get out of the way too much. It protects your body a lot. It keeps your defender back. And so you can come in and drive when you got a wide stance, but if a guy hits you with some movement, they can get to an angle, you got to reset because your stance is too wide. You have no chance to pull back or anything. So now your back leg support is off because your balance is off. Your cerebrum cortex is off. So now your reflexes is slow. Even coming into the ring, he's trying to get himself settled. So by the second round, he got himself settled, but he wasn't as sharp as, he used to be. No, he wasn't right after the Terrence Crawford fight. The Terrence Crawford fight is when he wasn't right. After that, dog, you had to go get him a speaking spell machine. They should have stopped that fight after the 7th round. When Errol got knocked down 2 times, they should have stopped that fight. Letting Errol continue to fight was the trainer's fault and the referee's fault. Errol Spence is not getting back in that fight. That fight should have been called. He took 3 more rounds of beatings than he should have took. That fight should have been called right at the end of that round. The fact they let Errol go out there and take 2 more unnecessary beatings for 6 more minutes was when a fighter's beaten. That fight was over by round 5. You knew, like, man, they can call this. He didn't even need the 2 knockdowns. After round 5, you can call this. Dog, if you watched how Terrence Crawford beat him, he broke him. First, before the fight even took place, at the weigh-in, Errol knew he was going to lose. And I told you, I was like, look at his body language. He know it's over. The words is coming out of his mouth. Man, no matter what happened, man, we putting up the best fight in boxing history. It's going to be the biggest fight in boxing history, no matter what happened. No matter what happens. But he knew he wasn't going to win that fight. Then before the fight, he started talking about he had an injury going into the fight. It's like, come on, dog. You could have been 100% Errol Spence. I have watched boxing my entire life. I have seen styles. I see what style is a good matchup, is a bad matchup. I told you that is going to be a one-sided fight. And it was going to be a massacre. And if he accepts the rematch, he'll be going home quicker. It won't even touch 9. It'll be over in like 2 or 3. Errol will be done. Do not do the rematch. And they pulled out that rematch, and that was the best thing they ever did. Errol Spence retired in the ring. Yeah, Errol Spence retired in the ring. He says it's time to spend time with the family. He done. And he said his money good. No, he knew how good Bud was. No. Errol always knew how good Bud was. So he always knew it was a threat. Al Heyman and PBC knew that Bud was a threat. That's why they kept Bud away from Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence for 2 years. He been chasing that fight for 2-3 years. And he told Errol, remember when they met face to face, and he told him what's going to happen. He was like, I'm going to beat you, and they're going to say, he's like, that's why I don't even want to fight him now, because even if I beat him, he's like, but you ain't got no belt at welterweight. If you get a belt, then I come fight you. So he's like, all right, I got a belt now. So what's up? You going to fight me or what? I got the belt. Let's fight. He didn't want to fight. He was like, man, I would fight Crawford, but he ain't got no belt. I'm putting up all the belts. He ain't got no belt. Then what happened? What's up? Spence before the car crash and before drink lean, smoke weed, slick, explosive. Used to be 98 overall. Now he's 88 overall. It's sad to see this as a fan because this is what drinking does. Nate Jones is a person that I know. You know the guy that trains Floyd? Before the car accident, he said this about Errol going into the fight with Crawford. He said, man, if he ever fought Crawford, I would have to favor Crawford only because of the drinking. If Errol could stop drinking, he could probably beat Terrence. But that drinking is going to cause it. And he had the accident like 2 days later after Nate Jones made the video. Because Errol drinks. Nate is somebody who used to drink a lot, throw down liquor, and then go fight and be fighting and drinking, and it messed him up. And then he couldn't fight no more. So the doctor said, no, the head injuries and everything, they did the brain scans and said, no, we can't clear you to fight. So he couldn't get cleared for a boxing match. Because you got to understand, you getting hit in the head, baby. All that drinking and partying and getting hit in the head, that stuff is going to take its toll. Liquor creep up on you. That's why Floyd knew, even when he fought Pacquiao, he wasn't the same Floyd no more. The last time I seen Floyd beat Floyd was the first Madonna fight. He wasn't the same after that Madonna fight. He know it, I know it, and we've talked about it. Even after the second Madonna fight, and he won easier, he wasn't the same. And he knew it. He said, I don't know. I felt off. And I was like, yeah, it was off. It wasn't clearly Floyd Mayweather. He was off a little bit. So when he fought Pacquiao, he was still Floyd, but not like he used to be. Like I'm saying, this the Floyd that fought Canelo, easy. Fight's done easy. That Floyd that fought Canelo stopped Manny Pacquiao. That Floyd that fought Manny Pacquiao was about 80% of what Floyd is. The shots that Manny hit him with, he would have never got hit with those. And I mean, those were shots that was just like he saw the punch coming. So this is why Floyd said, nah, I'm out. Like after this contract is up, I'm through. Because, I'm not the same fighter. And that's why he said, if I fought Sugar Ray Leonard like the way I am now, if I'd have fought Leonard like me now, no, I can't beat this me version of me wouldn't beat Sugar Ray. But me in my prime, if I was healthy, sharper than what I am, I think I would have got it. Zuffa Boxing is another scam by Dana White to steal back in money and just put fighters under a whole new law where the company gets the money more than the fighters. Mo 3 was not chasing Errol Spence when he was drunk and he crashed. He was not being chased by Mo 3. That is an internet lie. Never took place. He was not chasing Mo 3. Mo 3 wasn't chasing him. Errol was flying drunk fast in Houston, came off the ramp. It's a speed bump. He hit the speed bump, and he was going in so fast a speed coming off the ramp. Once he hit the speed bump, poof, and knocked it. The car went at that speed, knocked the whole car up because he has no weight in the trunk at all to weigh the car down. So once he had the converter when it threw him from the car, once he hit the curb, he was so lucky to be alive. As the car went into the store and everything, buildings on the side. It's crazy. Shakur Stevenson would lose to Mayweather. Easy. In their prime, Floyd Mayweather beats Crawford. They fight two different styles. Bud is an adaptive fighter. He adapts to what you do and try to take it away. Floyd is like trying to crack a shell. It's like trying to crack a nut to get him out of his comfort zone. At the same time, he's always in a position to strike you, even when you're not ready for it. Errol and Terrence take a lot of risks, but you can hit Terrence a lot more than you could Floyd. Because Terrence takes more risk. I don't think it would be a boring fight at all. It would be a chess match that Bud would be pressing the action and making the fight happen. But in doing so, he leaves himself a lot open. And he's a risk taker. Like Bud is an actual fighter more than he is a skillful boxer. He's a fighter. Bud would bite down and fight you. Yes, I believe so. It wasn't just Floyd's speed, it's his IQ and reflexes. It's hard to hit Floyd. Like a lot of people watch the Canelo and Floyd fight and watch Canelo and Crawford. Canelo landed shots on Crawford that he never would have landed on Floyd Mayweather. So when he says Crawford is more skilled than Floyd, no, he's just more riskier and knew when to take risk and apply the risk to make an exciting fight. Floyd was not going to let you even in the fight. You wouldn't have had a chance to win a round. I don't even think Canelo won one round. He was blanked every round. Floyd would not let him in the fight. He made you miss all night long and then hit you, and you couldn't do anything about it. And he was doing that by standing in front of you. That is a master of his craft. Tszyu is very beatable because he doesn't jab enough. He's highly skilled. Yeah, I wish he would throw better punches and make better decisions. Anthony Joshua fought earlier. That was on earlier today. Joshua, he got knocked down, but he came back and knocked the other guy out. I mean, like, as soon as the fight started. Yeah, that Pringa guy. Pringa came right out, called him cold when the fight was like fill out. It was like the first punches he threw. Yeah, hit him with an uppercut and dropped him. First punches he threw in the fight. First round. Caught him cold. No, what do I think for the future for Tszyu? Tszyu's gonna fight Jermell Charlo. I believe. Jermell Charlo or Jamal Charlo. I really believe he's fighting Jermell, to be honest. So Jermell Charlo versus Jermell Charlo was the guy at the weight class. Now he's going to come back to the weight class to try to finish it, and go ahead and get himself, put back into perspective. He won't beat Jermell with one arm. Mel will be there to get hit, but Tszyu will have problems if he thinks that's going to be the defining moment for him. Yeah, well, if you think about it, you're putting yourself in harm's way each and every time you respond or react to something that just doesn't make any sense. Um, there's countless of activities that are happening that people are not privy to. They're just not making a lot of sense. So if you were a knowledgeable person, then you would understand it better. The sport of boxing and the art form. Sometimes you can overcome a situation. Like if you looked at Errol, you would think Errol was the bigger guy, more physical. This fight was supposed to be at 154 pounds. Then it went to oh yeah, it went from that to no, it went from that to 158. And then after 158, yeah, Errol couldn't make 158, so they made it 160. And Tszyu did not even hesitate, meaning he was comfortable at 160. And you could see he was still strong. He was walking down Errol because not that Errol wasn't more physical. Errol was more concerned about the incoming than what he was delivering. And as the fight went on, he became more and more concerned about the incoming than him committing to the punches. No, I feel like it's an entirely different scenario altogether because the people that's involved are so dedicated and focused on task. And when you're focused on task and situations altogether, you start seeing who's really good, who really isn't, who's dedicated, who's focused, all of the people who are supposedly up to date involved. Yeah, well, people never wanted to understand uh, a situation that they just didn't get. Uh, no, if Errol wanted to, I feel if Errol continues the way he's continuing and going down the road he is, there's nothing he can do. If he was 100% available, but it's over. You know when you're at your end. Believe me with my knee playing basketball and guys getting by me that would never get by me. If I'm losing the guys I would have beat by 1,000, it's over. It's over. It makes no sense for me to even play. I'm done. There's nothing I can do no more. My right arm is done. My left knee, I'm like, yeah, that's it. They're telling me no more basketball. I'm like, man, I just want to shoot another jump shot just to show them who I am. Then the knee goes out. My left leg, I'm a left leg jumper, leaper, take off my left leg. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, the Black Panther 3, I saw that. And Oh yeah, 100%. So with Black Panther 3, the actor they got to play him is outstanding. David Johnson, who was in The Long Walk. I know. Tell me about it. But anyway, man, I'm glad you guys like boxing and stuck up with the fights. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, he's playing the young T'Challa. He's playing T'Challa's son. In this realm of what they're doing, T'Challa's son is going to be the new Black Panther. He was good in The Long Walk, so definitely check that out.